I love the hustle, man.
All net, no ring. We back with another video. I go by the name of Stealth. We got Dope Boy Bush to my left, man. What's good with my brother?
My brother, good, man. I'm good, man. Glad to be back to go ahead and start filming again, bro.
Nah, definitely. We are approaching the middle of August, man. So we're trucking along probably like another month and a half until we start getting real basketball news and preseason games and stuff like that. But for now, we got the gold medal game tomorrow, USA versus France. We're going to talk a little bit about what we think about that matchup. But today we're going to talk about Serbia versus the USA. That game was yesterday. Very entertaining game, very interesting game.
Yes,
you know, there's a lot of people talking about this game, you know, in regards to like the rotations and the players and who should be playing, who shouldn't be playing, things like that. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get to that, if this is your first time to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, comment, let us know what you think about the topic today. Other than that, man, we're just going to get straight to it. So I would say, okay, so we won. All right, I'm sure everybody watching the video knows that the Team USA won. The final score was 95-91. You know, like I said, very interesting game because Team USA pretty much was behind. They did not have the lead pretty much this whole entire game. Serbia, surprisingly, was leading the game for 35 minutes and 12 seconds. How crazy is that?
It's crazy, bro.
With Team USA only leading for 3 minutes and 25 seconds, that was pretty much the end of the game. Like when they got the lead, they closed it out. We can talk about some of these stats in a little bit as we just kind of go along with the conversation. But what's your thoughts, man? Like from what you saw, because you actually was. I knew the game was on, but I was doing something else. But then when you start hitting, I was like, oh yeah, okay, let me put it on. You know, I had to put my YouTube TV on the phone because I was kind of doing something else. But then I got in front of a TV and started like really paying attention like towards the third quarter on. But what's your thoughts on this game, man?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I was texting you on the group chat, I was actually lightweight surprised the fact that they were getting beat, you know, this bad that early. You know, I felt like they really didn't shoot too good from behind the arc at first. There wasn't really a lot of defense being played as well. And I know that Serbia was knocking down a lot of shots, too, as well. But they need to go ahead and do something, man. They need to go ahead and change something up because it just didn't look right, or the intensity level needs to be like how it was in that fourth quarter from start to finish, because it shouldn't have to go ahead and boil down to the last 5 to 6 or 7 minutes of the ball game.
Not at all.
That you guys will go ahead and start playing this intense, you know what I mean, to go ahead and actually try to win the game, and you only win by 3 points. That was definitely wild to me, honestly.
Nah, definitely. If we just go through some of these stats real quick. Serbia shot 47% from the field. They shot 38% from the three-point line. Now that is where we kind of had a shining, you know, stat line. Team USA shot 16 for 32, 50%. Free throw 64%. You know, 9 for 14. You got to make your free throws. You know, that is a majority of them, but you know, you would like to see that in the 70s and up. We out rebounded. No, excuse me. They out rebounded us totally. 34 total rebounds to our 33. They have more offensive rebounds. I feel like they were getting crucial offensive rebounds like down the stretch.
Jokic, man. Second chance opportunities on the offensive side too, as well. That kind of helped. Held USA kind of down. You know, when you give them second chance opportunities on the offensive side, it kind of hurts you, especially, you know, when you can't get no stops neither.
Yeah, no, definitely. What are your thoughts on Steve? A lot of people been talking about Steve Kerr and his rotations this summer. What are your thoughts on that, just in general?
I mean, to give a fair assessment at this point, what more can you do with a squad this stacked?
Okay.
You can't play everybody. Let's just go ahead and be honest, you know, and let's be quite frank. Whoever's on that day, or whatever players are having good, you know, games during that time frame, you're gonna have to go ahead and play them. I felt like, you know, with Steve Kerr, there's at times where it's like, okay, are you being outcoached, or is it the players just not playing up to the expectations that, you know, they need to go ahead and play to, like, what's actually going on? So I have been seeing a lot of, you know, riff here and there, you know, on Twitter, Instagram and stuff like that, you know, in regards to, you know, Steve Kerr, his coaching and things of that nature. So you have to look at the game film again to go ahead and see, man, are you being outcoached, or are these players just being outplayed? Honestly, I felt like it's a little bit of both.
So I did see some people talking about this today. They were saying how pretty much Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker weren't playing that great of defense yesterday.
Right.
But Booker played 25 minutes, pretty much 24 minutes and 14 seconds. He only scored 6 points. He went 1 for 3 from the 3-point line. He shot 50%. Like I said, he only scored 6 points in about 25 minutes. People are kind of looking at that and saying, well, you probably could have played Jayson Tatum, who got a DNP. You probably could have played Tyrese Haliburton, who got a DNP.
Right.
Some of those minutes, especially if he's not shooting well and he's not playing defense. The Jayson Tatum thing that came up a few games ago. I think maybe last week they were talking about how it was like he had like a DNP. Then Steve Kerr started him the next game, stuff like that. The guy just won an NBA championship, right?
Right.
It's so ironic because when you look at the Boston Celtics, the MVP of the finals is not on this team.
No, yes,
and then what a lot of people consider to be the best player on the Celtics in Jayson Tatum, he's not even get on the court.
Yeah, not even playing.
But
exactly.
Derrick White is playing, and you know what I'm saying, Derrick White and Jrue Holiday are playing. Jrue Holiday 20 minutes, 3 points. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure, maybe he wasn't defending too well either because, again, Serbia was doing their thing. What is it? Jayson Tatum is a good 6'8", 6'9", could pretty much play 1 through 4.
Right.
We know he could score 1-on-1. He could shoot the 3.
Definitely.
He's definitely a good rebounder. What's going on? Like, what happened this summer for Steve Kerr to not really place value into Jayson Tatum, in your opinion? And then we're like giving him a large amount of minutes.
I feel like it really does. Go ahead. You said what? Again, my fault.
No, just giving him, a healthy amount of minutes to like show his worth on this Team USA. Like, I feel like we really haven't seen that, but we know he can hoop.
Right.
So what do you think that's about?
I think it's more so about what we're putting out defensive-wise. I don't think we're playing good defense as a whole, as a team, and I think that's the reason why you see more of the Jrue Holiday, more of the Derrick White being on the floor, especially in crucial moments, because they feel like, hey, look, this is going to be a better defender. I know if I put him on their best player at the moment, he's going to be able to go ahead and create these turnovers or frustration to where either they'll miss it, turn over the ball and get a steal, or possibly just create havoc on the defensive side. We don't really see that too much from Jayson Tatum as far as defensive-wise goes. We do know, like you said, he can go ahead and guard 1 through 3, respectively. I just don't think that he's being I don't think his intensity on defense, on the defensive side, has just picked up just yet. I feel like once that picks up, I think that he might get a little bit more minutes. But, I mean, hey, they only got one more game. I don't know the reason why him and Haliburton, didn't get, why they got a DNP, yesterday against Siberia. I don't know the reason why that happened. But we've known that he's done this before as far as Steve Kerr. We know his track record. He's done it with Joel Embiid. I think he's done it with Tyrese Haliburton before, too, as well, right? And then did somebody else get a DNP, too, as well, a couple games prior to that, too?
I would have to look. I know that there might have been one game Joel Embiid got very limited minutes.
Right.
Haliburton
got very limited minutes in the game where they were blowing out Spain, I think, or whoever. No, was it Spain? I think it was, or somebody like that. They were just playing Brazil. Yeah. One of the teams they were just playing Brazil. I think it was.
Haliburton hasn't played much during the summer at all,
and I don't know why.
With the guards, I think Derrick White, like you said, Derrick White, Jrue Holiday, they're kind of coming off the bench, being like those defenders.
Defenders, right?
Booker and Curry are starting, so. And then like Anthony Edwards is kind of probably like the 6th man, or at least the first guard to come off the bench. So I guess it's just, I don't know.
Well, you also got to think too as well, man. A good point that I heard a lot of commentators talking about, especially like Dwayne Wade and things like that. They were saying how much Steph Curry has stepped up defensive-wise throughout this run to go to as well. So with Steph playing a little bit more defense now and having the intensity, picked up on the defensive end. It's all right. Well, hell, I got Curry playing good. He can shoot. He's playing better defense. Why would I take him off the floor?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know, man, but all I know is, and I think what most people are pretty much saying is, Jayson Tatum again, 6'9", NBA champion,
right.
NBA All-Star. He's young, but he has experience. He's not like young like Anthony. He's not like Anthony Edwards young, but he's in the middle of his prime. You know what I'm saying? Coming off a championship.
Definitely. I agree.
I guess people are saying like you got to find a way to get a guy like that on the floor. I don't know why it just did not happen this summer. And looking at Jayson Tatum, like when they pan over to him, he doesn't look too happy that he's not playing. I'm not gonna lie, like he probably thinking like, man, I could be chilling on vacation, coming off my NBA championship.
Yeah.
Chilling with my baby mama and my kid. You know what I'm saying? Because LMA is pregnant, I believe. I don't think they've announced that, but she had the pregnant belly with the jersey on at the. So
right.
I don't know, man. But he's gonna get a gold medal.
Like I said beforehand, it's hard to give out a good quality of minutes when you have a stacked USA men's basketball team like this. Let's be honest,
it is.
But I think that if anybody was put in this position to go ahead and coach, they would have a problem with trying to figure out their rotation too as well. That would work best for them, especially coming down the stretch. All right, when we come down the stretch in a close, tight game like how they had yesterday, who are we gonna put in here to help us close these games out? And they had it with Joel Embiid. He stepped up big. They had it with KD. KD had a good couple buckets too as well, along with Steph Curry. So you got to figure out where's this rotation to go ahead and come from when you do get tight, close games like this.
I ain't gonna lie, Jayson Tatum's going off for 50 on the Warriors next season, both games. He's about to go crazy.
Steve Kerr, this is for you, sir.
Tatum about to go crazy.
Tatum, if you go bad on the Warriors, bro, I can't even get mad at you, man. I can't even get mad.
I do want to make another point. Draymond has been, I don't know if you noticed, he's been very critical on Steve Kerr.
Yes, he has. He definitely has. I've been seeing that too as well.
He actually just said this. I'm going to post it in the middle of the video. But yeah, he was just talking about the rotations and things like that. What do you think about Draymond critiquing? I don't want to say criticizing, critiquing Steve Kerr's and the coaching staff's tactics, rotations. What do you think about that? You know what I mean?
Hey, Draymond, keep doing you. Keep doing you. We like players like you, bro. Keep being open, keep being honest, and letting people know how you really feel. Because I feel like sometimes, when you let your honest truth come out or your opinions come out, it is taken as if you're hating or you're being, biased or, you're going against your coach or whatever the case may be. But no, I mean, if he sees something and he's an NBA player, he's been in the league, he's a veteran, he has championships underneath his belt, he's played for Coach Kerr.
There you go. That's his coach.
So he knows.
And it kind of makes me think
I'm not mad at him for pointing it out at all. Continue to keep doing you. Don't hold nothing back. I've heard Dwayne Wade say the same thing on air and said a couple different things about, hey, Kerr and them need to go ahead and find out what the rotation is going to go ahead and be, especially when it comes down to the stretch with close games, or when players are having off days in games, who are you going to go ahead and call upon from off that bench that's going to be able to go ahead and help you out, to go ahead and get these other points that you might not get from Curry or LeBron or from Embiid or somebody like that, or KD for that matter.
And it kind of makes me think, is Draymond kind of referring to Steve Kerr's rotations as a whole? Not just the summer, not just Team USA, but is he kind of like throwing jabs at his coach in general?
It could be. It could be. It could be because we've seen it last year during the season, during the regular NBA season, with Steve Kerr and the rotation and how many players he was actually playing, how many players weren't even getting off the bench and things like that. Yeah. So Draymond sees something, and he's not going to hold it back, which, I mean, I commend you for that. I don't knock you for that at all. I'm actually glad you're speaking up.
No, definitely. So Team USA, they move on. They are going to be playing France.
Yes, sir.
Let's just kind of go through France. I'm going to go just name off a couple players from their team. A lot of you guys may know some of these names. Frank Ntilikina, Nicholas Batum. We got Evan Fournier, Rudy Gobert, and, of course, Victor Wembanyama. Definitely a defensive team when you have Gobert and Wemby. I know a lot of people probably didn't really watch Wemby. I know a lot of people probably didn't watch Wemby. He's a really good shot blocker because he's so tall.
Really good.
And remember,
he's long.
I don't know if you remember. It was so long ago, but remember when Wemby got drafted and we were talking about stat predictions. I don't know if you remember. I want to go back to the video. I said I think he's going to average about I said about 18 points, and I said probably around like 9 rebounds, and I said about three to 4 blocks. I don't know if you remember I said that.
You did. You definitely said that for sure.
I pretty much nailed it. Like, I think that was pretty much his stats. Being able to change, and not only are you getting 3 blocks a game, but you're changing the shots of people coming inside because now they got to think twice when they're driving to the basket or trying to take a jump shot. They're like, oh, it's tall, motherfucker. Like, damn. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
So what do you think about this matchup, man? Because, again, we're Team USA. I got us, all day. But do you think we're going to have a tough game with France, how we did with Serbia? Or do you think it's going to be, do you think we're going to jump out early, get the lead, and just kind of take control from there? What do you think, how this game's going to look to you?
Well, it has to start with the intensity from the time the ball's tipped up. You can't have a lackadaisical first couple of quarters and think like, all right, well, you know what? We're going to halftime, we'll regroup, come back out second half, and try to go ahead and give it our all. You got to go ahead. As soon as that ball goes up, man, apply pressure. And with France being a defensive-minded team, like you said, and having defensive-minded players on their squad, they're going to go ahead and challenge the likes of Steph Curry, the likes of Joel Embiid, KD when he comes to the game, Devin Booker, So these guys they play against. So when they play against them, they play against them during the regular season. They're going to go ahead and play against them now. So they have to understand. We know what these guys bring night in and night out when we do play them in the league. We can't go ahead and be like, all right, well, we'll just go ahead and play them lightly right now. But by the time we're close within a 5-6 point game, then we'll go ahead and turn it up. You can't do that. Put your foot on their necks and go ahead and start strong from the very, very beginning if you can do so, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Steve Kerr, I think Jayson Tatum is playing this game. And the reason I say that is because
he has to.
I mean, because I know like Jayson Tatum's not 7 foot, but he is 6'9". He's somebody that if you put him at the 4, you have to be able to account for him on the other end. You got to guard Jayson Tatum.
Yes, sir.
So I think this might be. I could see Steve Kerr maybe putting like Tatum at like a shooting guard maybe for a couple minutes in this game just to play big.
Yeah.
Maybe like Brown at the point, Tatum 2. You know what I'm saying? Durant at the 3, Bam at the 4, AD at 5. Just go big because these dudes are big. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go big.
They are a big team. And like I said, we said, they play good defense. One thing I'm going to say, too, to add on to what you're saying is that Joel Embiid and AD and even Bam, if he gets some minutes too as well, they have to figure out how to attack Wembanyama to get him in foul trouble very, very early on in the game.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you get him into foul trouble, that will create less of a problem when it comes to playing on the opposite, when it's on the opposite side of the ball, to where you don't have to worry about the wingspan and the height. And if I do go by my first defender, when I do have to go ahead and put the ball up, whether it's for a layup or, a mid-range jump shot, do I have to worry about this big dude coming out of nowhere and blocking it with his wingspan?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like,
definitely.
they're going to have to go ahead and put that boy in some foul trouble. You know what I mean? And have him sit on the bench as much as he possibly can and really just bring it to him.
I think it's going to be a good game. I'm excited, man. So it's going to be 12:30 West Coast time, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Right? West Coast time?
I think
so. Or is that just?
I think so. Yeah, I think 12:30.
Was that East Coast? Got to double check on that. But yes, I'm definitely tuning into that tomorrow. But I got Team USA, man.
What's your predictions?
Right.
What's your predictions on that one? Who you got? You got your Team USA, like you said.
Team USA. I think we went by like maybe 7, 8-ish points.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna be like this crazy blowout. France got here for a reason. It's a good team.
They did. They definitely did for sure.
Definitely no slouch. They're just good.
Not at all.
But you know what? I am surprised, and we didn't talk about this at all, that Canada got knocked out. I thought they would be the team that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought so too. Well, you got to understand, man, I felt like, for me, watching it, I felt like Germany was a good team that people had to go ahead and watch out for. France, for sure. And then just like what you said, I didn't think that, Canada was going to go ahead and get beat and be out like that, especially with the good quality players they had on their squad too as well. I don't know. Could it have been a height situation too as well that kind of affected them too?
They did seem a little small, huh? Like up front.
Small against France, for sure.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, Wembanyama's coming. That dude, like I I'm excited to watch him next season.
I am too as well.
You know, with him and Chris Paul having that, because Chris Paul's a real point guard. He's going to set him up. But the pick and rolls with Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama is going to be so crazy. Oh my goodness,
it's going to be so nasty, man.
They're going to be hard to beat.
This is where CP's going to actually start. He's going to actually start there, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, CP, yeah.
So you know, this experience here with him playing, you know, in the Olympics is going to go ahead and definitely just heighten up his game for when he gets back to the NBA and starts this season, you know, in the NBA. And then you got a veteran PG, you know, and Paul. That's what will go ahead and help him out with the pick and roll. Hey, pick and pop. Hey, pick and roll and go ahead and go to the hoop. Go slam on somebody. I'm going to throw the hoop up there. Don't be afraid to go ahead and go get it. I'm going to throw it up there.
Man. Nah, but definitely this is gonna be an exciting game to watch. I can't wait to watch this game, man. I think it's gonna be like
I got US by 6. I think they're probably gonna win by 6.
So we're kind of in the same ballpark.
Well, and the reason why I say 6 is because they haven't really had any games where I felt like they really stood out as far as shooting wise goes. You know, if you look back at some of their statistics, I haven't seen them have like a really, really good game from them shooting either, you know, behind the arc or within close range of the arc. You know, I haven't really seen them shoot that ball really that well. So they got to come out and start shooting, and they're going to have to hit their shots in order for them to actually even remotely kind of even blow these guys out. And they got to get stops on defense too as well.
Absolutely.